Dr. Ashok Kumar Singh, the guests of honor of today's function, all distinguished and eminent mycologists and plant pathologists, and also former executive members of IPS, Dr. S.S. Chahel, Professor Anupam Verma, Dr. B.L. Jalali, Dr. C. Manoharachari, Dr. M.K. Nayak, and many of our colleagues who have joined from overseas, Dr. M.S. Reddy, Dr. Ravi Khetarpal, Dr. Suresh, our respected Dr. P.K. Chakravarti, member SRB and president of Indian Phytopathological Society, Dr. Pratibha Sharma, who is the president-elect IPS, office bearers, secretary Dr. Robin Gogoi, joint secretary Dr. Kalyan Mandal, treasurer Dr. Gujar, and all other executive members, zonal presidents, zonal councillors, distinguished invitees, and esteemed members of Indian Phytopathological Society, students, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure and proud privilege to welcome all of you on the occasion of inaugural function of National E-Conference on Plant Health and March 25 to 27th, 2021 at IARI, New Delhi. It was the afternoon of 28th February 1947 when about 20 mycologists and plant pathologists from various parts of the country assembled at IARI, New Delhi, and a meeting was in 2022, we shall be celebrating 75 years of our society in year 2022. So after that meeting which was held, steps were taken for framing a constitution and bylaws of the society, and which were taken, and the final draft of the constitution was ratified at the first annual general body meeting of the society held on January 2nd, 1948 at Patna, wherein 156 members they had joined. This drafting the constitution was largely done by Dr. Mundkur, and the fact remains that very little change has been made in the bylaws even after more than 7 decades of its establishment and working. So this shows that with that thoroughness and foresight, the job was done by none other than Dr. B.B. Mundkur and his team. So the society was registered on 3rd November 1949 under the Society's Registration Act 21 of 1860, with its headquarters in the Division of Plant Pathology and IRI, New Delhi. So as all of us know that biotic stresses are major challenges in quality food production, to address these issues, Indian Phytopathological Society intends to deliberate 3 days National E-Conference on Plant Health and Food Security Challenges and Opportunities. And the primary aim of the conference is to highlight the importance of plant health on global food security. So on behalf of Division of Plant Pathology, IRI, and Indian Phytopathological Society, and on my own behalf, I warmly welcome all of you. Special welcome to Dr. Tilochan Mahapatra, Secretary DARE and DG ICR, who kindly accepted our invitation to be the chief guest on this function. I warmly welcome Dr. T.R. Sharma for accepting the invitation in spite of his very busy schedule. I profusely welcome our director, Dr. A.K. Singh, for accepting the invitation and guiding and gracing the occasion. Sir, we are so grateful to all of you. I would like to welcome our dynamic president, Dr. P.K. Chakravarti, who gives us much needed guidance to address emerging issues in plant pathology. I welcome Dr. Chakravarti, sir, to this inaugural session, and subsequently we will be getting your guidance. All the dignitaries, eminent mycologists, plant pathologists whom I just named are warmly welcome. I would also like to welcome all the past presidents, past chief editors and office bearers of society, zonal presidents, councillors, and all the others who have joined. They are all warmly welcome on this inaugural session. With these words, I'm very sure that during these 3 days, there will be a lot of deliberations and recommendations will come out, which will give us the solutions for the problems which farmers are facing to increase production productivity and also to secure the country in terms of production and also nutritional security. So with these words, once again, I warmly welcome to all of you on this inaugural and 3 days deliberation organized by Indian Phytopathological Society. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your elaborative welcome address and having nicely explained the history of Indian Phytopathological Society and its establishment at Division of Plant Pathology, IRI, and the relevance of this 3 days national conference. Now, I would like to request Dr. Robin Gogai, Secretary IPS, to brief about the activities of the society and to give the details about the conference.
Namaskar. Honorable Secretary there, Dr. Tilishan Mahapatra ji, Dr. T.R. Sharma, Deputy Director General Crop Science, Dr. A.K. Singh, Director IRI, and our President, Dr. P.K. Chakraborty, is President of Indian Phytopathology Society, and eminent plant pathologists, dignitaries who are connected from various places, India and abroad. So, my dear crop protection scientists, workers, students, research scholars, and sponsors and well-wishers. So on behalf of Indian Phytopathological Society, I, as a secretary, and also our team from 8 zonal chapters, zonal president and zonal councillors, welcome all of you to this 3 days this conference, e-conference on plant health and food. So this is tribute to Dr.
Dr. Gogoi, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Society is having definite aims and objectives, so I am not going to read out. So these are available in the IPS web.
Come to the slide mode, Dr. Gogoi. Dr. Gogoi, your
And
voice
the
is
society
not
is having
reaching.
8 zones in India. So later on I'll be
Not audible. Dr. Gogoi.
and where our researchers can publish their research findings. And next one,
Not audible. क्या हो रहा है डॉक्टर चक्रवर्ती?
So they are attending from their IPS office. I don't know what happened. Never it happened.
Technical fault maybe, sir.
What is this presentation about?
Sir,
डॉक्टर चक्रवर्ती, प्रेजेंटेशन किस चीज का है?
sir, this is on
Hello?
IP Indian Phytopathological Society
स्लाइड शो में आओ ना, तुम्हारी आवाज आ रही है.
आप 2 शब्द ऐसे ही बता दीजिए, कोई प्रेजेंटेशन जरूरी थोड़ी है. आईपी सोसाइटी के बारे में 2 शब्द बता दीजिए.
Kalyan, can you tell? Kalyan,
इतना टाइम नहीं है कि आधा घंटा प्रेजेंटेशन सोसाइटी के बारे में बताएंगे. बता दीजिए 2 शब्द.
Okay, sir. Kalyan, Dr. Kalyan, anybody can hear from there, madam? or I can.
Sir, Dr. Chakravarti, you please take over because they are not connectable. You can go ahead with and tell about society in brief, and then we proceed as the program.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mahapatra ji, sir, Dr. T.R. Sharma, Dr. DDG Crop Science, Dr. A.K. Singh, Director of IRI, Dr. Rashmi Agrawal, Dean, and then eminent scientists and stalwarts who laid the foundation of this ICR, or IPS, sorry, and zonal president. Hello. Zonal presidents, zonal councillors, and my entire team IPS. I don't know why this has happened. For the first time, we have conducted 8 zonal conferences without any hitch. I welcome you all to this important e-conference. Am I audible, sir? Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
I welcome all of you to this important e-conference on annual meeting of IPS and National Conference on Plant Health and Food Security, Challenges and Opportunity. Sir, to tell about the society, India is the third largest with regard to crop biosecurity and their food security and income sustainability. Although India has not systematically conducted any studies to estimate losses due to diseases of pests, reduces considerable losses to the crops. So loss, if I tell you, because I prepared I made an estimate, and throughout the country I found I obtained the original data from each of the director of the crop institutes, and I found that the crop pest losses, it ranged from a huge from 7% to about 70-80% also, but we made a medial line, and we said that it is 20 to 30% losses due to pest includes diseases and all other things. Even higher vertebrates are also pests, and weeds, insects. So the entire losses constitutes about 20 to 30%. And if this loss is estimated, it is going to be hopping loss of 1,90,000 crores to 2,25,000 crores. So this is the loss which it was published also in one of the, it was reported in DSC's also report. And then this loss, if we can save or protect, so it can feed the entire country, or it can save the country of at today's rate 55 to 60 million tons of food grains, which many countries do not have, and even 60 to 65 million tons of horticultural crops. So this is the importance. So thus Directorate General of European Union Parliamentary Research Studies, recently it reported that without crop loss or crop protection, 50% of crops will be decimated in the country. It was earlier, it was said that it was 70%, now it is 50%, latest report in 2020. Thus, the society, besides looking into these things, it engages actively with the farmers and industries to alleviate the problems of crop losses. This year, the society has taken a serious concern after government proposed a ban on the society on some generic pesticides during the International Year of Plant Health 2020. And then this has resulted in a deep concern, because many of our academia and scientists, Dr. Anupam Verma is also involved, engaged in evaluating many of the pesticides, but he did not ban them. He said that they need to be reviewed. And then subsequently, you have also taken over this thing and raised your concerns through IPS was concerned about its effects on farmers, and if these widely used pesticides are banned abruptly without adequate alternative, it would cause peril. Let me tell, sir, because these are the generic pesticides. India uses lowest number of pesticides in the world, and lowest concentration of pesticide amount of. IPS convened a meeting of the society to develop an opinion, and also responsibly conveyed it to the concerned DSC regarding rethinking over such ban. Society also is engaged with the task to frame an opinion and expose and express a pragmatic view before government takes further implementation of ban. Society, since its inception by publication, improved upon the qualities of the paper. This is another thing which has been done. So for the last 3 years, Springer has taken over, and NAS rating has improved, but unfortunately the citations for the 3 years will be complete after this, after 3 years are over. So that's why we lagged behind, and it improved to the status of 5.95, and otherwise society has already seen that once the citations are available, we will be above 6 rating. And this is the only plant pathology journal which has gone with the activity of society. Society during International Year of Plant Health also shared 20 important concerns of practical significance with ICR and also with the Government of India. If these are addressed, it will strengthen the world's UN Sustainable Development Goal, which are 17 in number, with few of them which are directly related to agriculture. In addition to the main society, we have 8 zonal regional centers and 8 zones, and 8 zonal conferences societies held 20 on discussions on one or more of these 20 important concerns or points which were shared with the ICR and other Government of India related policy issues, and their recommendations of these annual meeting as well as these zonal conferences will be advanced to ICR for furthering the research, and also through ICR to policymakers for development or improvement of some of the policies, because this society was doing everything and it has laid the foundation of plant protection in the country, but policy issues we were not engaging ourselves. Now under your leadership, ICR has an institute which is fully dedicated to policy development, also with the School of the Policy Development. So with them and 4 plant protection institutes and other crop protection departments of the 50 crop-based institutes, we can engage in to develop policies and then raise our concerns. And the society definitely places on record the contribution made by our Honorable DG ICR for developing guidelines for regulation of biostimulants. The biostimulants are now growing at the annual growth rate of 14%, which you have realized, and at the call of PMO office, you have constituted under your kind presidentship. You have developed a body, and the body's recommendations for regulation of biopesticides, because Rajasthan alone used to sell lots of spurious pesticides. So you have done so for that, and recently on 23rd September, a gazette notification with regard to regulation of biopesticides have already been promulgated, and it has been published. And you constituted a committee to form a pragmatic decision on the ban of 27 pesticides, and the committee under your guidance had already provided a report which you have very kindly and very ably and with all concerns you have advanced to the Government of India for approval. And you have made, because when I was ADG, sir, you made several other areas improvements in pesticide residue issues, codex issues, all, and we have engaged. And I am sure that in days to come, IPS will not only engage only with the academic research, but also it will form a bridge between the policymakers and implementations, so that India becomes a hub of food for the entire world. You have also proposed many improvements for PMB, Pesticide Management Bill 2020, which is standing in Parliament, and also for promoting biopesticides. So these are the very important issues and steps which are limiting the development of eco-friendly IPM, for which you yourself have been directly engaged, and you have given us lots of inputs and directions, so that IPS will also now in future, it will be involving itself with the societies. We have already forged union with certain coordination with American Phytopathological Society, and we are also looking for APARI, which Dr. Khetrapal has ably extended all cooperation. So we are also becoming international, and we are also having all coordination with them. We are also promoting some of the students through American Phytopathological Society to get them exposed to outside the country, so that they are getting some of the students who never used to get a chance before their employment, they are getting chance to represent the country outside. And in future, society has also decided to engage in policy making with ICR, NAS, TAS for suitable decisions on plant protection issues. Sir, because this is a concern, because many of the issues like abrupt ban of pesticide, approval of robots or drones for use of pesticides without having adequate preparations, paraphernalia. Then the society DSC has also issued a gazette notification recently for promotion of biopesticides, but in appropriate term, it is not going to promote. It is going to promote monopoly, as well as it is going to promote the preponderance of one particular strains all over the country without exploiting the resources. So some of the faulty rules and regulations and policies which are coming, even pheromones are priced so heavily, 18% GST. So no farmers, eco-friendly farmers who want to do such kind of activities, they will be motivated for this. So with your involvement with IPS will engage in all these activities which are impeding the development of crop protection and making the entire plant protection gamut realize its achievement and efficiency of the pest and disease management. We will be able to further the research and as well as policy making together. Thank you, sir. These are the points which I had in mind, and I would request now Dr. Pratibha Sharma, the president-elect, she is also the ICR emeritus scientist, to give her address as a president-elect.
So very good afternoon all. Our distinguished delegates, we have all, because of the time shortage, I'm just cutting out all the sentences which are related. We welcome all our dignitaries from India and from outside. It is indeed a great opportunity and privilege to share now again. I'll be sharing duties with our society. It is indeed a blessing, and yeah, where we can contribute to our best capacity. It really gives us huge enthusiasm and encouragement. And I feel really very, very encouraged when I've, as a president-elect, I've got another chance to work with the society. When we are working in a society, we really feel as if we are in a joint family where all generations are working together for some very important goals of the profession. And since these are the professional societies, so they are also, we really learn so many things. This society has taught us so many things which are very subtle. Actually, they're very, which have been really, we have never felt also that we are learning so many things, how to associate ourselves, how we can interact, tolerance, respect, compromise, adjust. And all these human values, they really contribute a lot to become a very good scientist. And I think if we really work with all these virtues, with all these feelings, the right thoughts and intentions, they really lead to the best of our capacity. And I hope that we will, our Dr. Rashmi Agrawal, madam, and Dr. Pranjit Chakravarti have already expressed the views that how plant protection is playing a very important role, and how about the pesticides and all our latest problems, general problems of the profession, and about the biostimulants. since I'm a biocontrol scientist, so we also were facing a lot of problem with the microbial biological agents. But now the things are becoming streamlined, and I'm happy to say that, yes, the strain which was really hanging, my strain which was hanging for years together, this had also got approval in the Central Insecticide Board, Faridabad. And I think we really thank our DG sir, who really made the thing so easy for all of us. Now we are really getting, and I think the scientific society, as such, all the young scientists, they will be feeling that how we can really get ourselves registered in the CIB Faridabad, because the things now are becoming more easier and easy. There are guidelines which we have to follow for all the biostimulants, and new guidelines have come. And as a microbial scientist, when we are working, we are still working, and we are learning every day. So, sir, just I will not speak much at this moment, because we have lost a lot of time because of some technical error we got in our this main control room. So society, as we know, that has witnessed a great association of our stalwarts, and all are visible today. Our living, all the great scientists, Professor Verma and Professor Jalali, and everybody is there. People from outside like Dr. M.S. Reddy, and our past presidents are visible here online. Our director, Dr. A.K. Singh ji, I'm sorry, actually, all the things got not in sequence, but DDG Crop Sciences, Dr. T.R. Sharma is there. And I welcome again all of them to this session, this e-meeting, where we really, we are not physically able to meet each other, but we are trying to meet and express ourselves through the online. All the students from different parts of the country, I think they are all online. And our young scientists, our seniors, zonal presidents, counselors, all my colleagues, ladies, gentlemen, everybody, welcome again. I congratulate our president, Indian Phytopathological Society President, Dr. Pranji Chakravarti. And now we expect, with these 3 days, we will be doing all the sessions very nicely, and come out with the recommendations and proceedings, which will help us further in formulating the plant protection strategies. Thanks again. I thank all the delegates. Thank you very much.
Well, I think it's my turn now as per the program. Dr. Chakravarti, may I go ahead?
Sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah. Thank you, and very good afternoon to each one of you. I would like to extend a warm welcome on my own behalf and behalf of IRI to Honorable Director General ICR and Secretary DARE, Dr. Vilochan Mahapatra, Dr. T.R. Sharma, Deputy Director General Crop Science, and I see a large number of doyens of plant pathology in the country and abroad, Professor Anupam Verma, Professor Jalali, Professor Chahal, Professor Sridhar. And I have had the opportunity, Dr. Chakravarti, as President of the Society. I would like to extend a warm welcome to each one of you, and also Dr. Asmi Agrawal, our Joint Director Education. What a pleasure to have Dr. Mahapatra and Dr. T.R. Sharma, two eminent, one geneticist and one plant pathologist, molecular plant pathologist, to share their views on the inaugural function of this conference on plant health and food security challenges and opportunity. As you all know that Dr. Mahapatra in early 2000 started and visualized the importance of molecular breeding and led the project for development of molecular breeding as a tool for incorporating resistance to bacterial blight in rice, and he led the release of the first variety carrying resistance to bacterial blight with XA13, XA21 gene as Pusa Basmati 1460. And the rest is history. After a large number of varieties have been developed through molecular breeding in rice at our place and throughout the country. But he was the one who provided the leadership for molecular breeding program. Likewise, Dr. T.R. Sharma has made a tremendous contribution in understanding the molecular basis of host and pathogen relationship, particularly in relation to blast. I had opportunity to work with him in a project where we developed a series of isogenic lines in the background of one basmati variety for blast-resistant genes. Dr. Sridhar Akuli and Professor Jalali, both of them, they made a very active contribution in the implementation of this project, which also led to development of varieties and series of isogenic lines in this background of basmati variety. Now, when it comes to plant health management and food security, There are a lot of things that, of course, will be deliberated during this conference. And the science and technology-based disease forecasting, forewarning, and site-specific disease management is important to minimize the losses that happens and also to minimize the cost of cultivation. And this would require use of biosensors, use of remote sensors, simulation modeling, and drone-based application of pesticides. And for that, developing nanomolecules and formulations. And therefore, this encompasses a whole lot of many other disciplines, not just plant pathology. You need to have the physical sciences for remote sensing. You need to understand the chemistry. You need agricultural chemical specialists. You need agronomists. You need geneticists. You need plant pathologists per se. So this interdisciplinarity has to be built in our approach. And then the second most important thing I see is pesticide residue management. When we are talking of doubling our agri-export, meeting the international standards with respect to residue is an important challenge. And we have seen in case of basmati rice, 22 pesticides are being regularly tested for each consignment that is shipped to European Union in particular. And there have been 18 rejections in past 3-4 years. The basmati rice export from India has declined by 50% from 5 lakh tons in 2017. It has come down to 2.5 lakh tons. So this is a major concern, particularly because of tricyclazole and bupropion. Although these standards are far below than what is accepted in European Union, particularly in United States, 3 ppm, Japan 8 ppm, but EU is asking for 0.01 ppm kind of trade. They are able to gain by 100%, double their basmati rice export in past 3 years. Those are the things which must be looked into and analyzed. And in this context, what we need to do, a good agricultural practices is very, very important aspect. And in that context, when it comes to pesticide, when to apply, how much to apply, and what to apply. Which pesticide to be used, what is the time of application, what is the method of application, and how much quantity should be applied. These 4 factors are extremely important, and by and large, farmers are guided on all these 4 factors by the RTs and traders who supply them the pesticides. And many times the advisory goes by RTs for a wrong pesticide, which is not recommended for a particular use, and so on and so forth. The quality is not good. So this is another important aspect that needs to be looked into. Then development of novel genes, alleles, by exploring the germplasm in large scale. We have initiated some program on this, and genome editing as a tool to create novel alleles is important. It's just an example, if you see the XA13 gene in rice, its distribution over large set of germplasm that has been analyzed, hardly 2%, 3% lines carry this mutant allele, and rest are all having susceptible allele. Now, genome editing tool provides an opportunity to edit directly the gene to create resistance for the particular race, for which it confers resistance. Now, that has to be, of course, accelerated, and at IRI, with the help of our Honorable Director General and DDG both, we have initiated a program with Heinrich University in Germany, where we have, this special program to edit the bacterial bite resistant genes to create the novel alleles. Understanding host pathogen, understanding pathogen per se is another important area where not much has been done actually, except in case of wheat, the way we understand rust, the way we understand bacterial blight in pathogen and blast pathogen. For rest, I think there is a lot that is required to be done. Still we say, call isolate, kernel isolate, Mande isolate, and so on and so forth. But in terms of molecular understanding, this is a very important area. And more so for many emerging diseases, there is no information, false smut, brown spot, Bakane, all this has to be done. And I find the hardcore plant pathologists, the number is slowly decreasing, and people converting into molecular aspect more so, but we need to take care of this particular aspect. A mention was made earlier for the taxonomy, that is also equally important. Host pathogen interaction at molecular level, Dr. T.R. Sharma did a great analysis in blast pathogen, and when he cloned 54 ABR gene, and then how we can take the genes from pathogen and then make a construct, transform the rice plant to make it resistant to multiple, isolates. That's another area which is again very important, and biomolecules and biostimulants it was mentioned. This is quality, maintenance of quality in case of control agents, and biomolecule is extremely important, which has to be really looked into. So I think these are few points that I wanted to mention, and I wish this 3-day e-conference a great success, and the recommendations from the conference will pave the way for formulating the policies and guidelines. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring and enlightening speech about the role of plant pathology in releasing resistant varieties, and also the integrated approach for the development of the society. Now I request today's another guest of honor, Dr. T.R. Sharma, Deputy Director General Crop Science, for his address to the audience.
Very good afternoon to all. Honorable Director General ICR and Secretary Dear Dr. Trilochan Mahapatra, Dr. P.K. Chakravarti, President of the Society as well as member ASRB, Dr. Pratibha Sharma, President-elect, distinguished colleagues. I can see large number of honorable mentors and teachers sitting in this gathering. Professor Anupam Verma, Professor V.L. Jalali, Professor S.S. Chahal, Professor Sridhar, Dr. M.K. Nayak, Dr. C. Manorachari, and very distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank IPS, particularly Dr. P.K. Chakravarti and his team, for inviting me here this afternoon to be present in this particular gathering. A lot has already been said by Dr. Chakravarti and Dr. A.K. Singh. Many aspects they have touched what we should be doing. Some of the aspects which I am going to say here, although we are doing it, but not with much seriousness. But before that, we should also look at the history. We have also seen a recent COVID-19 pandemic. And if you imagine that such pandemic happened in crop sciences, in any crop, wheat or rice, the major food security crops, we are not going to get anything to eat. At least during this pandemic of COVID-19, we were food secure, and Government of India has distributed or still distributing free food to more than 80 crore people in the country. So we should not forget the history. The Irish potato famine, which happened in 1845 to 1849. Because of that, more than 1 million people died and almost 2 million immigrated from Ireland. It was a great famine. Then Great Famine of Bengal, which was happened in 1943 because of, again, very important disease of rice, Helminthosporium oryzae, and more than 2.1 to 3 million people died because of that. So such epidemics happened at different times, and we could save our crops by use of resistant varieties and using chemical pesticides, for which details have already been presented by Dr. Chakravarti and Dr. A.K. Singh. But I would like to tell everybody sitting here that it is only 115 years back, 1905, when for the first time inheritance of resistance to yellow rust was discovered, and that laid the foundation of identification of phenotype of genetics of resistance of diseases. And then in 1935, H.H. Flor gave a very important hypothesis, gene for gene concept, for in case of linseed and Malmsora linnae, and for which I think whole breeding program is based on. and which states that for every gene conditioning resistance in the host, there should be a corresponding A-virulence gene present in the pathogen. So how much we could contribute in these two areas? Inheritance of resistance to various diseases in case of rice and wheat, mention was made by Dr. A.K. Singh, but I think we have to start from the scratch. Even we don't know exactly the extent of losses caused by various diseases, virus diseases or bacterial diseases to plants. Based on all management strategies are to be developed and policies to be made. Then survey and surveillance of pathogens. Epidemiology of resistance has become an diseases have become an obscure subject. I don't think anybody would like to now see, in spite of the fact that this subject should be dealt more now with the advent of big data analytics and more computer-aided facilities which we have now. So this discipline has gone like our taxonomy. So I think there's a need to again rejuvenate these disciplines which are now slowly going out of the scene. Even breeding for disease resistance is becoming very important. Once markers are available, only then breeder can do marker assisted selection. But who is going to identify gene for resistance? It's only plant pathologist. Who is going to map gene for resistance and then clone them and characterize and develop gene-based as well as gene-linked markers? We have only limited reports from the country, and we can count on fingers. I would like to mention here that more than 320 resistance genes have been cloned till date, in which rice contributes more than 50 resistance genes, and out of those 50, 25 are for rice blast resistance. So you can see now, and I am sure around 10, 12 are for VLV resistance and only 5, 6 for different diseases. And most of the disease resistance genes have been cloned from Arabidopsis, around 60, and followed by rice, 50 genes have been cloned till date. And it's all because we know the genetics of resistance and also genome sequence of both these plant species, Arabidopsis, rice, followed by tomato and wheat, are in public domain. These genomics tools have become very, very important now in searching for new genes for resistance, their alleles in land races and orthologs in wild species. So wild species is a reservoir of resistance genes and orthologs, but it's very difficult to clone all these genes and characterized because of the fact that we don't know the gene product. Resistance gene product we don't know. We only know these genes from their phenotype. So unless we develop a mapping population and then map these genes, we cannot do much in this area. But now the new concept has come in which using of genome sequence information, one can identify the negative regulator of the resistance mechanisms, which can be knocked out by using CRISPR-Cas9, which genome editing technique, which Dr. A.K. Singh has already told. So for that, we need negative regulator of the resistance mechanism. For example, XA13, the sweet gene series, which have already been knocked down by various scientists, and data is available in public domain. Similarly, we should also advise plant breeders to avoid large-scale cultivation of single varieties to avoid genetic vulnerability or vertifolia effect. You know, many times we boast that our variety is covering, say, 80% area in X crop and 50% area in Y crop. Imagine if some virulent race appears on that particular varieties, what is going to happen? That's a vertifolia effect which one has to avoid, and only plant pathologist can advise to all the geneticists that one should not cover large area under a single variety. Otherwise, it is going to be disastrous in case there is an epidemic of a disease. Similarly, horizontal resistance is being ignored for the past many years, although we are working on vertical resistance by incorporating resistance gene using marker-assisted selection. And that's true in few varieties, few crops. We can even count on fingers how many crops we are using marker-assisted selection. Because we have not characterized the genes, we have not identified the DNA markers linked to the gene of interest or gene-based markers. So not only that, with the advent of genome sequence information available both in host and in plant pathogens, one can identify a virulence gene or secretory proteins, which has now emerged as a new science, new branch of science, which is called effectronomics, effectors. These are the effectors which are being identified in the plant genome sequence, pathogen genome sequence, and then being used for resistance management. So if we know avirulent genes and resistance gene in the pathogen, one can see interaction of whole gene network wise using interactome analysis, and the approaches are available with us nowadays. I'm sure the new breed of scientists which is coming now, they are not limited with the technology, they are not limited with the material, they are only limited with the ideas which one can one can learn by reading a lot of literature and new discoveries which are coming in the field. And another important area which I would like to say here only, I think a limited number of people are working is on non-host resistance. None is working in India on non-host resistance. And even to characterize programmed cell death, which is one of the most important mechanism of hypersensitive response. Who is studying the molecular basis of programmed cell death, which is extensively studied in case of animal system, but not in case of plants, and none is working in India in those areas. So these are some of the very important areas wherein one can make good headway. And I am now telling in all my AICRP workshops that try to use wild species to discover new genes and try to use pre-breeding as one of the tools, directed pre-breeding as one of the tools to scout for available DG saw, because the pre-breeding has become an integral part of all crop improvement program in the ICR system. Like pesticide residue management and all those aspects has already been said by my previous speakers. So I am not going to touch on these issues, but now since my 10 minutes are over, so with these words, I would like to again thank the organizer for giving me the opportunity to be the part of this very important national conference on plant health and food security, challenges and opportunities. And I'm sure that a very crisp and clear recommendations will come out of this whole discussion of 3 days, which should lay the foundation of future programs of research in case of host-pathogen interaction, plant pathology, mycology, and different branches of plant pathology science. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me here. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, having enlightened us regarding the food security during this epidemic and endemic times by developing resistant varieties through genetics of resistance in different crops. Now I request it's time for us to facilitate our awardees. AP Mishra Lifetime Achievement Award has been conferred to Dr. B.L. Jalali. Sir, we feel proud and happy to felicitate you with this prestigious award.
Congratulations, Dr. Jalali.
So, hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
You are audible.
Before this conferring the award to Dr. B.L. Jalali sir, we would like to play a very short this video biography of A.P. Mishra.
it should be.
I hope you are sharing it from some other place, because your place has some issue. You could share the slide to other terminal, no? You could play.
You can,
Let's hope it works.
you can read or you can leave
You
it.
read, yeah. If yeah, it's coming.
डॉक्टर गोगोई आ नहीं रहा है.
तो वही अभी नहीं आया है. You can speak out. It should have been opened beforehand.
So it will be better to skip that part. So here certificate display.
Now,
Professor A.P. Mishra was born on 29th July 1917.
So I don't think we have time to read.
Yeah, it is very slow also. Voice is not clear.
No. Just leave it or you speak about it. Otherwise,
Dr. Gogoi.
Yeah, clear.
Skip it and then just say about the Dr. A.P. Mishra.
Yes.
Artist and plant pathologist of that time, who prompted him.
So we are skipping this videography. So we are very pleased to honor Dr. B.L. Jalali sir. So on behalf of this society, this A.P. Mishra Lifetime Achievement Award has been conferred on him, B.L. Jalali sir. So
now shall I?
Yes.
Dr. Jalali to speak few words.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Should I speak?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Okay. This e-conferencing is in itself a very interesting experience. Well, esteemed Dr. Mahapatra ji, Director General ICAR, Dr. T.R. Sharma, DDG Crop Science, Dr. A.K. Singh, Director IARI, Dr. Chakravarti, President IPS, President-elect Dr. Pratibha Sharma, the Secretary of the Society, Dr. Robin Gogoi. I also see a large distinguished spectrum of very distinguished plant pathologists who have made tangible contributions in various domains of plant pathology, mycology, virology, bacteriology, and so on and so forth. Mr. President, allow me to share some of my inner vibrations presently bubbling up. A big thank you to the fraternity of IPS, one of the largest such society in the world, for bestowing this award on me. Frankly speaking, I feel humbled. To my parents, who have nurtured and nourished me during the formative period of my life, and beyond in the midst of the then prevailing challenges. To my respected teachers, particularly Professor M.S. Paugi at Banaras Hindu University, Professor D. Surya Narayana at Punjab Agricultural University, Professor Klaus H. Domsch at the Federal Research Center to my doctoral students, scientists, and associates who have been working with me in different projects. It is basically their significant contribution which played a pivotal role in what I have achieved on the professional front. And above all, to my wife, Dr. Indu Jalali, also a professional plant bacteriologist. Who stood by me like a rock, like a pillar of strength in pursuit of my professional mission. With all my humility, I dedicate this award in her memory. And finally, a prayer for you all. A prayer for you all. हम खुदा से मांगते हैं दुआ, हम मांगते हैं खुदा से दुआ कि खुशियों का नूर आप पर इस कदर बरसे, अगर आप चाहो भी तो भी गम आपके लिए तरसे. In the prevailing pandemic, please take care and stay healthy. God bless you all with his love that makes each and every day a joy to live. A crisp, short message for my younger generation of plant pathologists, that to him who devotes his life to science, nothing can give more happiness than making discoveries. But his or her cup of joy is full only when the results of his research studies find practical application. Let us walk an extra mile to achieve the ultimate goal of holistic plant protection. May God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your message to the younger generation by discovering for practical applications. Now, I request the secretary to announce the IPS recognition and other awards.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pramila. So, this Indian Phytopathological Society is giving 17 different awards in different heads, and this time for IPS recognition award, so 4 plant pathology Dr. R.P. Thakur.
उनको कोई जल्दी जल्दी पढ़ दे कि दिखाने में बहुत टाइम लगेगा, फटाफट पढ़ दे.
Posthumously. So we are proceeding for the next categories of award. IPS Best Teacher Award. This was for the second time. It's a second year, so it was instituted from
Dr. Gogoi, I think stop sharing the slides and the take the names only.
Dr. Gogoi, just speak out the names because we are not able to hear. Somebody can speak out the names. Our Honorable DG has to join another meeting. I request you to please take the names and then we can hear our chief guest. Dr. Chakravarti, I think he's not able to hear also.
Dr. Gogoi, can you hear?
सर उधर से हैंग हो गया लगता है.
Dr. Pramila, do you have the names of awardees with you?
No,
Yes,
he is only having.
He should have shared with others.
Dr. Kalyan, you have?
Kalyan, I called. He also did.
No, I don't have.
He also did. So what you can do now, sir, with your like you said, sir.
Now,
DG साहब का like
let the chief guest speak.
Yes, sir. Let the chief guest, sir. So we are extremely sorry for all these technical difficulties, sir. So on behalf of yes, Pramila.
To invite our today's chief guest, Dr. Trilochan Mahapatra, Secretary, DARE, and Director General ICR, to address the audience. Sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chakravarti, President of the Society, my colleague Dr. T.R. Sharma, and Dr. A.K. Singh, Director IRI, and also stalwarts in the field, Dr. Anupam Verma, Dr. Jalali, Dr. several others, in fact, Dr. Sridhar, and I find Dr. Chal, Dr. Nayak, President-elect Dr. Pratibha Sharma is there, and Dr. Malti, and many others, dignitaries who are there associated with this program and linked today to this program. At the outset, let me congratulate the society for organizing this particular program and thank Dr. Chakravarti, Dr. Rashmi Agarwal for inviting me to this particular conference. Okay. National E-Conference, which is being organized on the theme Plant Health and Food Security, is a very timely and very important aspect to deliberate. And I'm sure this 3 days conference would be very, very useful and productive from that perspective. Dr. Chakravarti has been spearheading the activities of the society for past years. He has his own way of working and then driving from the front. And also the other office bearers have been very meaningfully contributing, as I was told. Some of the areas what Dr. Chakravarti was talking about, we have been working very recently on all this to push the national agenda and also supplement and complement whatever required. Dr. Sharma, Dr. A.K. Singh, Dr. Chakravarti have spoken eloquently about various aspects of issues, concerns, challenges, and opportunities that there, to have proper management of plant health, and in the process ensure food security of the country. So I would not like to repeat what they have said very briefly because I have to push for another meeting. Dr. Chakravarti said that if you are here for 10 minutes, that would be perfectly all right. So I'm here for 1 hour, and we have so many technical snags. And today, I don't know, that really happens, but I didn't expect from IRI this kind of snacks should be there. They could have gone to a proper room and tested it, but somehow that happened today. and we have wasted time. So I don't want to really repeat and waste time also either on those. And congratulations to Dr. Jalali, and well-deserved efforts for well-deserved for the efforts which you have been putting in, lifetime contributions recognized with the lifetime achievements, and I believe very well deserved. And from my own side, from the ICAR, RTS, congratulations to you. And also, let me also thank the stalwarts, Professor Burma and others, who have been nurturing this society, and then contributing to its performance and excellence over years. So thanks, Professor Burma, for continuing to guide the youngsters to build the society and its activities. And stalwarts built this, Dr. Munkur, as it was mentioned. Stalwarts built and nourished this society, and in the process, we have come this far. And so first, I would suggest that let us not dilute our efforts, and then keep nurturing, and learning from the seniors, and keep nurturing the society, instead of finding faults and fighting among us, and belittling the society which has been standing tall. So my sincere request and suggestion would be that let us keep this society tall. Let us not any time dwarf it and make any attempt to dwarf it, and rather enrich it. So that is my first suggestion to all of you, and particularly those who are associated with the society. We certainly in recent times have engaged ourselves with very, very important things, whether it is the pesticide bill, whether it is banning of pesticides, whether it is biostimulant policy, or whatever. So I believe that in all aspects of policy making, all aspects of national requirements, we have been engaged, ICAR, and also in various formats, members of the society contributing to this effort. And that's something which is praiseworthy. And unless we have experts, unless we have expertise and understanding in various fields of plant health management, obviously will not be able to contribute to policy making in this country. So guiding policy making, supporting various government efforts, so it's very important and crucial for plant health management. So in that respect, we have to continue hunting for our roles in the policy making, and that's very, very important. Often we remain ignorant about what is actually happening, at the government level and policy level. And if we are proactive, so this should be one of the important, facets of our activity. In a proactive manner, we should be hunting for the issues and concerns which require policy making, which so policy advocacy would be a very important aspect of its activity. I believe if we can identify issues, scientifically deliberate, and build our viewpoints, expert opinions, so that would help. Even the academies can derive strength from the societies and their activities to build policy documents based on the society's contributions and deliberations. So that should be another aspect of our activity. We know that the losses are huge due to biological stresses, whether the diseases concerning the society, Indian Phytopathological Society, or could be insects and even nematodes, or nematodes are classified in pathology or entomology. I don't know. I'm not clear till date. And so they also cause troubles, hidden troubles. and also weeds and then insects and all these. Biostimulant also we are trying to include in this, but whether they've been included here or in a different category, that's what we have done. We have put in a different category. So neither in fertilizer category nor in pesticide category. So though they are different, but I'll not go into those details. Time is limiting. So we have been doing, and we should continue hunting for our roles in policy advocacy and how expert opinions can be developed, built around those issues and concerns, and then directly and indirectly through various other agencies, they can be promoted. So that could be second one. But I think most important point is that when we say these losses, if you say 20 to 40% loss, and you said loss is so huge in terms of Dr. Chakravarti, more than 1 lakh crore rupees and all that which are being lost. These are kind of assessments which are done, but assessment and all those things you were telling Dr. Chakravarti, I should repeat this, that there has to be, and okay, molecular genome editing, this and that, all those things are important, but the classical part of it, we are actually moving away from this. And this is one, that what are the economic losses due to various biotic stresses and particularly diseases, we should have some deliberations by the society on such issues, that you can bring out volumes on economic losses, for instance, by various diseases. How old our economic loss assessment is, under what circumstances it was done, and there are continuous changes in the pathogen populations over years, the varietal structure really re-examination, and the society can actually deliberate on this and guide us how do we really build this particular area. And similarly, when we say that management of crop health, certainly integrated approaches are there. We have been talking about it for quite long, for a very long time, but simplifying this and taking it to the field. There are some examples of integrated management systems, practices to be in place. But first of all, building them up, strengthening them. Why? Because as Dr. A.K. Singh said, that we have issues and concerns regarding export and the rejections which are happening. And unless there are good agricultural practices, and good agricultural practices for crop management built and promoted. We have societies, not just one dealing with crop protection. There are several societies in the country. And can this be a responsibility of the society through its members to promote good agricultural practices? Going to KVK, in fact, adequately educating the KVK personnel, for instance, if we have to start with, and then telling them what are these practices which in the present context are relevant, integrated management practices, crop management practices, or crop health management practices, or good agricultural practices for crop health management. If we document them properly, first of all, which is, I don't see it's appropriately documented for different things. They're all scattered. So if we document it properly and then put in different languages, and society would be doing a great job and help us also, the council, in the process, and we can educate our KVKs and ultimately the farmers. Large-scale digital platforms which are being used today. The farmer groups have formed WhatsApp groups they are formed, lakhs of farmers are connected. And if we can really take advantage of that and promote, and this, for instance, what time the fungicide should be sprayed so that basmati is safe for export, or for that matter, vegetables and all those things which are consuming, and they are safe. We use little, less than half a kg of pesticides in this country per hectare per year. That's true. But then, and one assessment says it is even less than 300 grams. And if it is so less, then why there should be rejection of export, or why there should be concerns, health concerns. So this is one area probably societies can help us to build. There are spurious pesticides which are there in the market, and we know about it. And biostimulant, you say there's growth is 14% or so. And what are these biostimulants? How much are genuine? And in one of these biostimulant meeting, the representative from Rajasthan, the government said that the spurious biostimulant market is 200 crores annually for Rajasthan itself. And so given this spurious kind of market which is going on widespread, farmers are cheated, and health hazards are there, environmental issues are there. So all these are there, and who is benefiting out of it? And what could be the way out? And how do we really build this particular aspect? Punishing people, and then what else could be other safeguards against spurious? That should be deliberation by the society to guide us in this direction. Reducing use of spurious ones, safeguarding against these. How do we actually detect? Is there a technology to readily detect which is spurious, which is genuine? Or you have to bring the sample to the laboratory to test it. Can we develop some tests like that? What is the technology? Or can there be some very quick tests at the field level, farmer level, to today's era of sensors and all that? There could be sensors developed which can sense very easily the kind of ingredients in the original and differentiated from the other unwanted ones, chemicals. So I believe there is a scope for us to discuss again, and for developing technology and for large-scale use at the field level. Certainly, there are challenges, and COVID has shown us how challenging it can be. One peak was over, we were comfortable, and again, second peak is arriving, and it's actually climbing up. The numbers are going up every day, and crossing 40,000 now, and close to 40,000 cases per day. It's very challenging. And you can't expect that only it will impact human beings and it will never come to plants. We can't be actually thinking that way and then sitting pretty safe and thinking safe that nothing is going to happen to plants. And tomorrow something hits us unaware, and we are off the target and we are lost. So how do we prepare ourselves for that? What should be the preparation? Do we understand pathogen evolution? How much of efforts are being made to understand the evolution of the pathogens? And the evolution sells itself. And if you want to publish in Nature and Science, you can publish if you have a good theory built around evolution of pathogens. Whether it is Pakshinia path, why I am emphasizing on this. The stalwarts who are associated with this society, they have built concepts, and through these new concepts, they built excellence. And where the society stands today, is it publishing that kind of path-breaking work? Is there any path-breaking work to actually report? And that's a big issue. And where we stand with regard to excellence in this aspect? So can we actually deliberate on this, discuss that how do we promote excellence, nurture excellence, and support excellence, and publish excellence and then new concepts, path-breaking ones, so that kind of work would be making the society far more visible. It's not just a conglomeration of few people and publishing a journal, but having that quality ingrained in it in terms of quality of people, contributions, and the kind of publications we bring about, by the journal of the society. So I think a whole lot of things to do. And I was talking about Corona, and then we have several transboundary problems and issues. And, how do we really address those viruses and other diseases and entering the country? And, in case of animal system, this is also evident. And in case of plants and insect, fall armyworm is another example. Wheat blast, we have been able to manage, but there could be many others challenges which are going to strike us, maybe near future, and preparedness for that. And I believe that society has tremendous responsibility to help us out in all this, and that's what is very, very important. And every society has to have a social responsibility. What is the social responsibility of the society? So I believe that that aspect probably most societies are not really deliberating and discussing, and I'm sure you should be able to discuss that. What should be our social responsibility? And I said a few aspects, but you can build onto that and then see where the societies can contribute to society. Such scientific societies can contribute to society at large, by way of their activities. Few activities at least in that direction. Recognizing excellence is important, and you are doing this. And but it should not be at times, should not look, very ordinary. So that we should not compromise at any point in time. Extraneous considerations should not influence at any time our this recognition of excellence. So at least the society is doing that, and today I'm extremely happy to see that society recognized the significant contribution of Dr. Jalali. That's quite hugely significant, and that is much appreciated. And we should continue doing that as we go along. The new tools and techniques I talked about. One, that how do we use sensors in detecting whether the pesticide, fungicide is spurious or not. And similarly, Dr. Sharma was talking about, and today we talk of use of drones for spraying, but that's not really the only use. As a scientist in the plant pathology and plant health management, we should see how the imaging platforms can be used using drone and also remote sensing. The imaging platforms and to be used large scale and to understand many things which we don't really understand in terms of pathogen evolution, in terms of pathogen spread, in terms of alternative hosts, in terms of the movement of pathogens, of course, epidemiology, what Dr. Sharma pointed out. So a whole lot of things can be actually studied by using those platforms, which are already there, available to us. So how do we large scale use those? And there has to be integration and convergence. Dr. A.K. Singh did talk about that molecular building and all that, geneticist role and germplasm specialist role and pathologist role. I believe that the AICRPs which are made as a teamwork, and that needs quite a bit of strengthening, not working in isolation. If we don't understand pathogen side, what Dr. A.K. Singh said, because if you don't have differentials accurately identified, and geneticist roles are not really effectively utilized in identifying correct differentials, the race recognition, doesn't really happen properly. So that is the issue for many diseases which we are seeing. Similarly, there are, so what I'm emphasizing is the convergence. So convergence should be the cornerstone of our activity, and I'm sure in this particular platform, interventions which would be required, and also various other facets, including societal benefits that you can contribute to immensely, social responsibility sector, and similarly technology use, and so on and so forth. So I thank once again the organizers for inviting me. There are many other issues to talk about, but my colleagues previously, they have elaborated on many things. I would not like to repeat. So I, at the cost of repetition, I don't have time also to repeat. So I would like to stop here, and thank you very much. And I wish this particular, conference grand success. And certainly, as it was said, you will bring out recommendations, which will be very helpful. But more than recommendations, redefining, repositioning the society activities, would be very, very useful. So because that is what is going to give the society far more recognition and bring laurels in future. And that's what the ultimate objective of the society is. And I wish the society all the very best in its future endeavors. So thank you very much. So I'll quickly move on to other work. So thank you, and sorry for.
Sir, thank you so much for your inspiring and enlightening speech regarding the future social responsibilities of agricultural scientists, and also to promote excellence and also to face the challenges. Now I request you, sir, please make it possible to release the publication, sir. Just it will take 1 or 2 minutes.
So here, release it. Everything is in your hands, and then you do.
Yes. So first publication, our abstract, souvenir and abstract of this conference.
So everybody concerned should hold it, and that's done. So it is released. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sir, next publication. This is on one bulletin. So the title of the bulletin is Stewardship for Safe Use and Handling of Pesticides. So this book has been compiled by our this President Dr. P.K. Chakraborty, then Rajiv Karmakar, then Salva Kumar, then M.S. Saharan.
Dr. Robin, it is not compiled, it is made, originally made. Even cartoons are drawn, everything has been made, not compiled.
So Dr. Chakraborty, hearty congratulations. Translate it into various languages and distribute among all stakeholders.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
I would keep on special records Rajiv Karmakar, sir. He is PI of AINP in BCKV.
Thank you very much.
Cartoons.
And original drawings. I heard that he is.
And my young professional who is a IAS aspirant, and he is working with me at the moment. And he has also, and beside all the authors and members who have worked day and night during last 4 to 5 days. That's only 4 or 5 days we have brought out. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Now I invite Dr. Kalyan Mandal, co-organizing secretary, to propose a formal vote of thanks.
So, good afternoon to all of you. On behalf of organizing committee, IPS, I extend my sincere gratitude and thanks to Dr. Tilochan Mahapatra, DG, ICR, and Secretary DARE for gracing these occasions and as a chief guest, and also his inspirational talk and guiding us, and also to put all the emerging issues and how to deal with the situations, all these things. We are also thankful to our dynamic president, Dr. P.K. Chakraborty, who is member, Plant Science ASRB Board, there, for his continued support, encouragement, and steering the team for making this event a grand success. We are also thankful to our DDG Crop Science, Dr. T.R. Sharma, for his kindness in accepting our request to be as a guest of honor, and also his important input to this conference to deal with these discussions. We are also extremely thankful to our beloved Director, Sir, Dr. A.K. Singh, who kindly agreed to be the host as well as guest of honor and also extended his support in organizing this event. The society also thankfully acknowledges Dr. Resmi Agrawal, Dean and Joint Director Education's Head Division of Plant Pathology, for her kind support during organization of this event. We are thankful to Dr. Pratibha Sharma, President-elect IPS, for her continuous support and encouragement. The society also extends thanks to all dignitaries, esteemed delegates, participants from inland and overseas who kindly agreed and make it happen to our invitations. Our sincere thanks to all the past president, eminent scientists, plant pathologists. I wish that I should name, but due to paucity of time, I am failed to name these things. But we are really indebted to all of you, sir, for your kind support. My special thanks to our Secretary Robin Gogoi and present Executive Councils, their untiring effort during the formulations and executions of this epoch conference. We also indebted to all the chairs, conveners, rapporteurs for different scientific sessions for their kind acceptance to our request. The society also extends heartfelt thanks to all the chairs, conveners, and members of the local organizing committee whose dedicated work helped us to make this event a success. Our sincere thanks to esteemed member of the IPS. I should name here our beloved sir, Professor Anupam Verma, Professor N. Mukhopadhyay, Professor S. Chalal, Professor Jalali, Professor Singh, Professor Ketraval, Professor R.K. Jain, Professor C.D. Mai, and Professor A.K. Misra, Professor R.N. Pandey, Professor Chodappa, Professor M.P. Thakur, Professor B.N. Chakraborty, and Dr. Thin. If I miss somebody, just excuse me, because it's a long list of stalwarts in plant pathology. Our sincere thanks are also to the sponsorer who sponsored this program. Firstly, I should acknowledge the sponsor from ICR, NAVARD, UPL, Bayer, Syngenta, Dhanuka in organizing the conference. Lastly but not least, our sincere thanks to IPS Secretariat, especially Raju and his team, for this day and night effort behind this event. And now I may request the August gathering to stand up for national anthem, please.
जनगणमनाय अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात कावेरी उत्कल गंगा हिंदू गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाए जन गण मंगलदायक जय भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय जय नमस्कार Namaskar. Okay. Thank you. This inaugural session is over now. So I, on behalf of
Thank you, everyone.
I extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you, and I expect all of your presence and joining in the technical session. And the next session will be first talk will be from our President Dr. P.K. Chakraborty. That will be at 2:15. So I hope every one of you can join. And next to that presidential address, so our technical session will be started, and that will be conducted concurrently. Thank you once again.
So congratulations. Please convey my congratulations to Professor Jalali for getting Lifetime Achievement Award. IPS President Dr. Chakraborty and all of you, IP Executive, for wonderful chance that you have given to us. And though some things, technical snag is there, but nevertheless, it has been a grand success. Congratulations to IPS and also to Professor Niranjana for getting KC Mehta Award from NAS. And God bless all of you and wish you good luck and all the grand success in near future. Thank you very much. I am Manohar Achari from Hyderabad. Okay,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, and congratulations, Dr. B.L. Jalali, sir.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations, sir.
Hearty congratulations, Professor Jalali.
Very hearty congratulations, Dr. Jalali.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Very
you.
hearty
God
congratulations,
bless
Dr.
you.
Jalali.
It has all been possible because of your support, love, affection, and whatnot.
Congratulations, Dr. Jalali.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, thank you. God bless you.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations. Congratulations, sir. Myself, Dr. Tripathi from Riva, Madhya Pradesh. Jalali, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations. Happy congratulations,
Thank
sir.
you.
Okay, sir.
Accept congratulations, sir. Congratulations, Akshay.
God bless you. God bless you.
Jalali, sir, congratulations, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next session will be started in the hall number 1 and from the presidential address by Dr. P.K. Chakraborty. Hope all of you will be joining.
Gallery view, catch the science, my talan kotai, mind to break at a corner. I have